education come with an expiry date? Is there any written law that women's education should end with a marriage? Who decides all these rules? Society has advanced to such a great extent that a woman's identity is hidden behind her husband's name. But as always, there will be some exceptions to the default norms of the society. Her life was indeed a roller coaster ride. Every war that has been fought is known for the destruction it has caused. But the Indo-Pak War was a blessing in disguise for her, as it postponed her marriage by 2 years. By God's grace, she passed her 10th and 11th in the meantime. But the norms of the society for a woman put the wedding garland on her neck when she was 18 years old. Being the eldest among the 3 daughters in the family, she had to bear the entire responsibility on her shoulders. She was still in her 12th standard when the marriage happened on May 13th. And in a span of few days, she appeared for her final exams. Life took a complete U-turn after her marriage. The Calicut girl was now part of a big city called Delhi. New place, new language, new people, and a new life. Life was very kind to her. 18 years of her life passed by very smoothly, and by that time, she had become the loving mother of 2 wonderful kids. Her husband was indeed a strong pillar for her to lean on. But there was one person who kept on troubling her. She tried so hard to avoid his specific questions, but destiny made sure she couldn't escape his loving care. It was none other than her wonderful dad. In the society who denies women of dreaming about their education, he was indeed the difference. He was the first one who told her, "Child, why don't you resume your studies?" That question penetrated through all the shackles of the society. It made her think a lot. How is it even possible? What will the society say? She had even a son who was going to start his college at that time. Her head became a volcano fuming with questions. It's been 18 years since she last touched a book. But her dad was constantly behind her, pushing her to rekindle her dreams. Because she loved her parents so much, she decided to write the entrance exam for BA/MA integrated course just to satisfy her dad. She prayed hard that she failed in the exam, so that now she would have an excuse to tell her dad. She went to Mysore and enjoyed her time there after giving exams. She was confident that she will fail. But God had a different purpose for her life. Her results finally came. At the age of 36, a married woman, whose hands which were used to holding cooking vessels and broomsticks for 18 years, finally decided to pick up a pen and books and chase after her dreams. Little did she know that she was going to create a legacy in the years to come. She fell in love with studies. In the class of young bloods, she was the only one who was old in age but having a young and cheerful heart. There was no looking back from that day onwards. She completed her BA and MA in 4 years, and the next question was, what next? That's when life threw another bone at her. One of her fellow teachers in her school questioned her qualification as a temporary teacher. She wanted to give an answer to that. She took the criticism in the right spirit and decided to finish her BA. Next on her checklist was MPhil, and that chapter had a major twist in her life. Last exam in MPhil was coming up in 11 days, and her husband was posted in Shimla. By this time in her life, her parents had shifted in with her. That day, her father was not feeling well, but he did not want to trouble her as she was preparing for her exams. But she decided to take him to a hospital. On the way back home, her dad spoke non-stop to her. He complained about her handwriting, kept telling her to study more, requested her to do a PhD after her MPhil, kept motivating her to push herself. That night took away the most precious person in her life. It was way beyond what she could bear. Her heart shattered into million pieces. There was a big void that was created in her life. She didn't want to write the exam anymore. But then again, her understanding husband took the role of her dad. He pushed her and told her that she should fulfill the dream of her dad. She gave her exam, but after coming back, she looked at the empty bed where her dad used to lie down. After every exam, they used to discuss about the paper, but he was not there anymore. Tears started flowing down her face as she cried in silence. Life moved on. Following her dad's wish, she then decided to do her PhD, but the admission procedure gave her a checkmate. 1 year of her life was spent fighting for her right to get an admission, and she finally succeeded in getting it in the year which coincidentally was renowned as International Year for Women. From being a temporary teacher in a school to a visiting professor in IIT Madras, she had indeed traveled a long way. Her 26 years of teaching career and counting has inspired and motivated thousands of wonderful students. She has shown the world that anyone can achieve anything at any age, provided they have a fire to chase after it. She proved to the world that a woman can still study and be an inspiration even after marriage if she has a wonderful husband who realizes her potential and supports her till the end. A teacher takes her hand, opens her mind, and touches her heart. And she has been a perfect example for the same. Every corridor in the IIT campus Madras has felt her presence. Her wonderful students called her by the name Manjula Rajan.